Hello, I'm in the studio and today I'm going to be working on fixing a painting that's been sitting around for a while. Never been quite happy with it, and I've worked on it a little bit here and there and here and there over the course of quite a few months. I know it has some value problems. The darks aren't quite dark enough, the lights aren't quite light enough, and it's just got a chalky effect because I put too much light and spread it around. So I'll be working on that today in the studio. I'm not really able to get out these days because of the lockdown. I'd really prefer being out in the marshes or at the beach, doing paintings outside. But this is a great opportunity for me to just sit back and look at some things that have been sitting around for a while and make some changes and make them better and possibly get some of them finished. So I'm really excited. So take a look and we'll be watching me make some changes, and I'll be talking about them as I go along. Okay. A successful painting starts with good observation. You really have to watch the sky and how the clouds move and spin. I'll start out by lightly sanding the old paint and adding a very thin coat of linseed oil to prepare the canvas to accept the new coat of paint. Now I'm creating color notes, starting with the light tops of the clouds that are still catching the setting sun's light. My response to being isolated is that I need more color in my life. Waking up every morning to this eternal Groundhog Day of staying at home every day kind of looks exactly the same as yesterday and the day before. So emotionally, I just can't bring myself to paint depression and lots of gray. I really need some color in my life. My heart just needs to see color. That's kind of why this fixer-upper of a painting called to me. It was bleak and colorless, and the subject matter should have been full of color. And I didn't get that the first time around, so it just called to me. I needed to do color, so that's what I'm doing. I thought I could help with this nice new coat of paint. So these blues are a lot more vivid than the blues that I have underneath, and that sky up there is pretty dark. As the sky goes up, it gets darker and darker. As it gets closer to the horizon, it gets lighter and lighter. So I'm creating that darkness, and it's kind of a vivid blue, which I kind of like. I need that color in my life. So as I'm building the painting up again, I have to take care not to overwhelm the painting with too much intensity. I'll keep many areas less intense, and that way the more important, more intense colors can be highlighted. And I plan on having more intensity right underneath of the whites in the clouds with some pinks and oranges right in that middle part. I've sped the painting up so that I can fit the whole process in. In reality, it takes quite a few hours to paint a painting, and this repainting of the clouds I spread over the course of many days, or a couple of days. This purple is getting a little intense. I'll calm it down after a while, but for now, I just love the intensity, and if it's too intense, I'll paint over it, which I will in a little bit. I really connect with the sunrise and sunset. Who doesn't? When I was a teenager, After the prom, a whole group of us traveled down to the Jersey Shore to watch the sunrise. It was cold. We donned blankets while sitting on the beach waiting. And at first, the sky started to lighten, and finally, it peaked up at the horizon, and finally the clouds lit up with great hues of pinks and oranges. It was amazing. Even now, I remember that. It was a wonderful memory. But my husband and I still walk the beach to watch the clouds come alive during sunset. I've come to savor that full color sky, and it's really nice to live at the beach so that I can see as often as I want these sunsets and sunrises when I'm up that early. But I love the part when the whole world lights up and the whole world gets color of pink, and even the air and that you're breathing is pink during these episodes of sunrise and sunset. Well, there's a lot of purple. There's subdued purples. I'm subduing them as I go, and they're going to be toned down, much more subtle than the brilliant pinks that will emerge under the whites of those clouds. I listen to music while I paint in the studio. Painting in the studio is a different experience than actually being outside. When you're out there, it's a full sensory experience. While you're painting, you can feel a cool breeze and smell the ocean air, where in the studio, everything's kind of controlled. That's why, for me, a bit of upbeat, soft music gives me some of that sensory moodiness. I'll open a window to get a little fresh air, and it's just enough. Uh, I start working, and I'm happy throughout. So at this point, I'm doing little edits here and there. I really like the way the sky has gone. Graying down the purple a little bit, although it's never going to be really gray, it's still going to be a little purple. Put a few darks in, a few more lights, just kind of shoring up this great new color that I've got going. Down underneath of the clouds need a little bit of lighter color. It's kind of still part of the clouds down there. It's not the sky in the background, it's the clouds down in that purple part, and they're pretty light. So this is where the purples are getting toned down. A little grayer so that the rest of the colors, the oranges and pinks, will pop. And here I am, painting in the studio. I've picked up a paintbrush. I have been doing most of the painting in palette knife. But I'm just making the edges a little more subtle, and I do that with a paintbrush, just kind of toning them down a little bit where they need to be toned down. I'm reestablishing the lightest lights right now and getting into some details in the clouds. So part of those details is to start adding the most vibrant colors right under the whites, and you're going to see me adding really strong oranges and pinks. It gives the clouds a bit of depth and substance, and it makes them a little round. Oh, turning the painting upside down. It makes it easier for me to see if I've missed anything. And I saw the horizon line was off. So I grabbed my trusty little T-square and I'm straightening it out. just making sure those grays above the horizon line are kind of light and gray. Adding a couple strokes to the water. And just finishing it up. I think it's just about there. I'm pretty happy with it. So here's a look at what it looks like before and after. Oh my gosh. So I love the painting, and I think it's much more vivid, and it's so colorful now and vibrant. So I just wanted to say I love all the likes and subscribes and comments you're leaving on my YouTube videos. I really look forward to reading each one, and if you haven't already, please go down and click on the YouTube subscribe button so you can see my future videos and leave comments. I'd love to hear from you. Finally, to see this painting and more of my landscape paintings, check out my website at maryhubley.com. Have a great day. Hope it's as colorful as mine. Bye.